I'll be full of sugars.
Oh no, blood, natural thing in there, yeah?
Yeah.
It's all natural, bro.
38, innit? Episode 38. Why do you drink water like that, mate? I've never known a geezer to drink water like you're eating.
You drunk it with 2 hands, didn't you? Is that the same way you suck cock?
No, Tommy Tippy, innit? I never grew up.
Bad
Why you gotta go there with it?
Mate, just fucking get a joke of your own, will ya? No, it's not your joke.
What do you mean?
It's fucking Connor's joke, you know.
What, why'd you go there with it?
Yeah.
How do you know I didn't say it first?
I know you didn't say it first, because you said it every time you're on the phone.
Maybe I did it too.
Don't lie to me, bro.
Fuck off.
Right.
Do you want to know a belter I come up with?
Go on.
You eat a fucking Snickers bar upside down so you can feel the veins on your tongue.
Welcome back, guys, to episode 38 of the Uncleanables Podcast. Now, today's topic is going to be to be or not to be.
The temperature.
Staff or no staff.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
But before we get into that, the reason I come up with to this episode being this topic is because I was driving down here from 20 minutes down the road, and I must have gone past 2 or 3 people, and one of them was a homeowner, so sort of less, more forgivable.
How do you know his sexual orientation? Oh, homeowner. Sorry, mate.
But he was out the front trimming his bush.
Fucking hell,
Yeah,
mate.
with his cock out.
Hey!
He's trimming his bush with his top off, and like I thought to myself, like, it should be illegal to have your top off if like you don't go gym.
Yeah, I know. It's
Like it was like he was on a main road as well, bruv.
everyone's seeing him.
Like that's some confidence, I think.
Oh, you got to be confident if you're doing that. You got to be.
But he actually looked like a small version of Jabba the Hutt. Like he had like the rolls at the sides.
Have you seen the England fans though? Have you seen England fans abroad? So
Well, I've seen a couple of
have you
videos.
seen the Netflix thingy?
Yeah, no.
Storming Wembley. So there's a clip on that, and there's a geezer describing exactly like you said. He stood on like a bin with his old boy off, completely naked, like that, just shaking his dick. But he like is nothing to look at. Do you know what I mean?
That's got to be alcohol, though, isn't it?
Oh no, but
Alcohol
what I
and
mean
drugs.
is like the confidence level with British people is
Huge.
obscene. So go on.
Anyway, sorry, I've just had a text from a customer. Hi Ryan, as I have more time now, I'm able to do the windows myself, so I won't be needing the windows cleaned.
Rotted.
Mate, he lives in a 2-storey house.
Is he going up the ladders every
I don't
once
know
in a
what
while?
he's doing. I don't know where he's got more time from either. Anyway, that happens sometimes, but each to their own. Yeah, and I just, oh fuck me. It's hard being me, Matt. I tell you, it's hard. Composure.
Why does it say Grinder customer service on your phone?
Oh, they took some money off me, like they shouldn't have done. They double charged me for premium.
Right, come on, let's get it on. Let's get on track.
Anyway, so it got me thinking. I can't even fucking remember.
Staff taking their tops off.
Staff got me thinking, and I think you said you drove past a bloke in a high-vis who had no top on, but just a high-vis.
There was 3 geezers doing the roads in Rayleigh, and I was driving through, and then 2 of them had shirts on underneath their high-vises, and the 3rd one didn't, and he just had like his bare chest with just a high-vis on it, and I thought it looks unreal, mate. He was fit as fuck. No, it looked awful.
Yeah.
Like I know he was on the roads a little bit different. Don't get me wrong.
Is it different?
Imagine if you got members of staff, 3 of them, and they were doing a job, and you turned up to site for an inspection, say, and one of them had like no top on in someone's garden. I'm like, no geese.
I'd be mortified.
Mortified, mate. It doesn't work like that. Stop it.
And then like it got me thinking, like, firstly, there's a whole conversation we'll get onto later about staff and no staff, pros and cons, but specifically about your business image once you've taken staff on. And it can take such a hit because they are responsible for how you come across as a business. And like you say, if they're going like, it gets to summer and some days it does get bloody hot. And like I wear black. So that's as bad as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
And if I turned up, like you say, to a job and they didn't know I was coming and they were on a job on their own and they were working with no top on, I'd be livid.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best image as well.
I think it's terrible.
I think so as well.
Terrible. And like, I think that's why it gets to a point when, like, once you take staff on, and I've said this before, once you take staff on, your job stops being so much about you being a member of staff doing the jobs that you're booking in, and more about becoming a manager. And like some people hate the idea of that. They don't like being told what to do themselves, so they don't like telling people what to do.
Yeah.
But you have to set ground rules
of course you do,
in a business. And like, it's not a bad, if you are looking at taking staff on, or even if you have staff and you haven't done it yet, it's a really, really good thing to get into, where you just write a little set of company guidelines.
And stick
it doesn't have to be like super professional, even if it's just a one-page document. And then when you take someone on, you say, these are the company guidelines. Because if it gets down the road and they just consistently breaking the company guidelines, if they're not self-employed and they're employed, you need to start doing stuff by the book. So written warning, verbal warning, written warning, final warning.
Also as well, I think it's just good practice.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're employing someone, and people don't realise, they just think, I'll just take someone on. But the powers that be can absolutely go in the employee's favour if you don't do stuff by the books.
Oh, they take you to cleaners.
Yeah, absolutely. If they want to.
Yeah, totally.
So if they say, right, say they just keep getting their top off, and you go, right, I've told you before, I don't want you doing that. And then a couple of times, and you go, right, look, mate, it ain't working out. You're fired.
You got to go.
And they've been an employee, I think it's longer than 6 months. And they can go, well, it's not in my contract.
Oh,
you never gave me any guidelines to say I'm not allowed to do it.
See, this is where it's the country's failing us with this whole snowflake shit. Because it's like, it's common knowledge, mate. It's like, I don't have to tell you to not drink bleach, do I? Do you see what I mean? I don't have to tell you to not run with scissors. But if you do it and fall over, how's that my fault?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
It is.
There's
getting
a million
bit
and
ridiculous.
one. Totally, I think. Absolutely, totally. Like when you got to learn about some things, and it's like, oh, mate, I remember doing a triple STS course. Oh my God.
Just what for the people? What is that?
Site safety.
So for the people.
Supervisor training scheme or something like that. Yeah. So I was a site manager of this company. Mate, the course was laughable. If a man falls down a hole, what do you do? And it's all like when they give you 3 answers, you got to pick one. What's
multiple
it called?
choice.
It's all multiple choice. Yeah, you cannot go wrong. Answer 1, point and laugh. Answer 2, I swear to God. Answer 2, run away and get help. Or answer 3, stay with him until help arrives, and then administer first aid. It's like, well, obviously it's that one, isn't it?
Oh, what, first one?
Yeah. Option D, just fill the hole back in. But it was like silly things, and you're thinking like, surely everyone should work with this anyway.
D.
Do you know what I mean? Surely everyone should work with this anyway. But it's slowly.
Get a phone out and start filming.
Mate, it's insane.
Ask him to do it again, but you can film it this time.
I'm going, you've been framed, innit? Oh man,
that's fucking cracked me up. But
going back to it, having staff is like, I've worked with a few different people over the years, and alongside them or for them or whatnot. It's extremely rare, I find, to see safety boots.
Yeah,
I know that sounds.
I see a lot of people pressure washing in trainers,
totally.
And like you felt the power of my pressure washer. It's slightly more powerful than yours.
That's a bit homoerotic, mate. Yeah. Let's not let them in. Do you know what I mean? This is the Uncleanables, not OnlyFans. If you've just tuned in.
Do you remember I caught my thumb in front of my pressure washer? It took the skin off.
Yeah.
It will go through a trainer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
I've caught my wellies a couple of times. They're not safety wellies.
Yeah.
But they've caught my wellies a couple of times.
And you know it's hit it.
Fucking hurts.
It's just, I just think it's good practice. It's just good practice. That's all it is.
Yeah. I've always been strict's the wrong word because it makes you sound like a tyrant. But like, I've had with my last business, we had 30 staff members. You cannot, when you've got that many.
Yeah, go on.
You cannot, when you've got that many, say, oh yeah, go to work in your trainers if you want.
Yeah. Well, so what was their uniform?
So we had black polos with the logo on, black trousers or skirt, which is just black, and then smart shoes. That's what we said.
Yeah, you can't be rolling up in trainers at that sort of industry.
They're going to a wedding.
At a wedding,
They're
a wedding.
Like 9 times out of 10, it was a wedding. So, and like, if it wasn't a wedding, so like one year we done the Royal Variety after party. So we were there.
Was it all celebrities there?
Yeah, all celebrities. And if you're like standing there in trainers, like you
it just
stand
don't
out
look
like
good,
a
does it?
sore thumb,
Yeah,
man.
It don't look good, does it?
No, we've done loads of stuff like that. We've done like album launches for celebrities and all sorts of things. And you think like, you could argue that the reason we got so busy was because of those rules we had in place.
Yeah, it does make sense.
And I think each to their own. I'm not knocking anyone who does go to work in like a t-shirt and trainers.
No, I am. Fuck you. No, seriously, stop it. I just think it's the worst image ever.
But like for some people, it works. They've got their rounds.
Yeah.
They're really friendly with their customers.
Yeah.
And they don't want any more than that.
No, I get it.
And I think that's fine.
I
don't want
know
people to. We don't want people to watch this and think like we're just shitting on them because
No,
they're not.
no,
they
no.
don't want to build a big business.
No, we're not
But
shitting on
we're very.
We're trying to help you.
We're very But some people don't want the help. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
They're happy
exactly.
with what they've got.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. But like, the likelihood is a lot of people out there are not happy where they are.
I'd say most people listen to our podcast because they want to do better. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Yeah. So if
But
you're
I'm
like,
just saying if-
I think that's 101. I mean,
Yeah.
I had no jobs on today, and I've still got my boots on.
You sleep in your boots and
My
like, trousers,
literally,
don't
yeah.
you?
Mate, if from the belt down, nothing changes. This is all I live in. It's just a clean shirt every day. But no, in terms of uniform, mate, 101.
Yeah.
101. Stop it.
But I think it's nice that some of our listeners could have quite successful businesses,
Yeah.
but still go to work in trainers.
Yeah.
And that little change, I think it's as much as it's physical, like to look at,
Yeah.
it's a mental switch as well. Like I know when I put my work boots on in the morning, I'm going to work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And I went to work once in my Crocs because I knew I was pressure washing all day. So as soon as I got set up, I was putting my wellies on.
Yeah.
But I felt so like lethargic in
Yeah.
the morning because my
was-
brain wasn't ready
it
for
was that
work.
placebo effect.
Yeah, because I hadn't put my work boots on.
Do you know what I always find as well, right? You see when you got your... I know it's going to sound stupid. My work boots are steel toes, yeah? And they got the plate in the bottom, right? If I don't wear these, I'm extremely cautious where I put my feet. I know that sounds really crazy, yeah? But like, I'd come down here, but I wouldn't start going mental in here and start like moving boxes and this, that and the other and like sticking my feet everywhere. Whereas if I've got my boots on, I don't care where I put them. Because I know if I step on something, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
These did, but I did glue them together for you, so I wouldn't be too...
With mitre adhesive.
I wouldn't be too fucking...
Mate, are you a tradie if you don't like build your own shit? If you don't bolt your own shoes
Careful,
back
mate.
together?
If you start calling ourselves tradies, people get annoyed.
Why?
I see Dave, Dave Acumen's, he done a video, and he done it on purpose. But he done this video on TikTok where he was like best paid trade on the building site because he does a lot of new build cleaning. So he cleans all the brickwork after it's been
I bet
built.
they loved him.
Mate, it went off. People going, you ain't even a fucking trade.
I'll be honest though,
Getting so angry.
I don't think it is though.
No,
I
it's
think-
not.
I don't
We don't build anything. I think trade, you've got to build something.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Well, think about it.
What does demolition build?
That's not a trade, is it?
Is it not?
What college course?
What?
What college course do you go on to learn about demolition?
Yeah, but what college? Yeah, but it's not necessarily a college course, is it?
Carpenters, electricians,
Yeah, all
plumbers.
the big ones. What you don't? Do you have a roofing college course?
Yeah, I think so. Construction, isn't it?
All right, yeah, fair enough.
They built.
What about laminate flooring? You don't go to college for that, do you?
I wouldn't say it's a trade either.
Would you not? I would. Some of the cuts are incredible. Some of the mitres and that, putting the scotias in.
It's just floor. It's like carpet fitter, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is just like water, isn't it? Just like under pressure.
Yeah,
know
I'm
what I mean?
not saying we're a trade.
No, I
I'm
don't.
just saying, I just don't think some of the trades that class as trades are trades as well. If I'm going down, I'm taking all cunts with me,
He's
mate.
dragging everyone.
Yeah, so pros of staffing frees up your time.
I think it's funny, like even... I mean, I'm not going to say some of the scenarios, but me and you have been in the van before, and like we've done stuff, or like had a giggle, and you're like, mate, the van's sign written, you can't be doing things like that.
We drove past someone the other day, and she had... So the women do this thing, didn't they, where they like poke their... she had absolutely no reason to have it. She wasn't in gym uniform, was she? It was like a jumper. But she had the back of her jumper tucked into her bra or something.
No, it was it was a sports bra, and her jumper. Normally they tuck it into the back of their leggings. Hers was tucked into the back of her bra,
so you could see her ass.
But it was ridiculous.
It was like, but it was so like you like just. It was just not ridiculous. Necessary at all.
Yeah, completely. Like, why would
and
you
I've
do
pointed it out, like in like a concerned father sort of way. Like, what's she doing that for? That's silly. Not as in like a pervert way.
And I hit the horn.
I hit the horn. And I've gone fucking hell. She's looking at us and everything. And then there was traffic, wasn't there?
Oh, mate.
Yeah, it was a bit silly.
And then her carer came over. No, I'm joking.
Mate, I nearly drowned then.
But silly things like that. There's a couple of stories. There's a good story I can give you. My brother had a business with rubbish removal, yeah? And he had eventually got up to 4 vans. And he had a friend and he had a job. I can't remember where the job was, miles away. I think it was in Scotland. And he said, take the van.
Oh, I was tracking it.
He said, it was all priced in, so it worked out all right. He said, take the van. He said, there's 400 quid diesel money. He went, get up there. You got to drive through the night, get there, do the job. Your partner will then drive back. One sleeps up there, one sleeps on the way back, yeah? No worries. Mate, he's not even out of Essex and he's trying to wheel spin the van around, like, roundabouts. It's a Luton. It's a transit Luton. It's like, mate, are you all right in the brain? Do you know
where they got it from?
What do you mean?
Luton.
No, but it's like instantly. He's not even half hour up the road.
I'm going to tell people that story.
And he's trying to.
We was in the van. It was probably when we were one of the first time. Like, it was early on in our working together days, wasn't it? And we was talking about vans and stuff. And you was like, I can't remember the way you worded it, but you was like,
it was a Luton.
My dad had a transit from Luton, but you didn't say from Luton, did you? You said
a transit Luton.
I went, could he not have got one from closer?
Oh yeah, that's what you said.
And you're going, transit Luton. And I'm going, yeah, could he not have got one from closer, like nearer to home? You're going, mate, he's a fucking transit Luton. I thought he was about to hit me. And then I've just looked at him and smiled and he's gone, you're a cunt. So now every time he mentions transit Luton, I fucking wind him up.
Yeah, that was a gold one, to be honest with you. And another bad thing I think about it's not a bad thing about staff, but you've got to pick wisely, is their etiquette and talking.
Yeah.
Because I've been on jobs before where people are talking. I used to work at a company, to give you some context, I used to work at a company before to do the fibrous plastering, yeah? And I think there was something like over 40 fitters. So I used to go from job to job and I'd meet new fitters and other fitters and this, that and the other. Then apprentices would come out as well. So it's a mixed bag of people. Some like lovely blokes, you know what I mean, nice people and all the rest of it. Some you didn't really get on with for whatever reason.
Can't get on with everyone.
You can't get on with everyone, but it was just an interesting bag of people. But then obviously you got like out of 40, you got 3 of them non-stop moaning, but they didn't care who they moaned at. My God, like the CEO of the company, for argument's sake, not our company, any company.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'd be up a ladder, he'd go, how you getting on? Yeah, fucking hate it, yeah, fucking my job's shit and all the rest of it. And he's like, whoa, big man, like I'm just like being polite, do you know what I mean? And then
I didn't really care, like.
Yeah, he weren't even that deep, and he's like going off on a tangent about like how he's not getting paid enough money and things like that.
Yeah, no, his wife don't love him and shit.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought, oh mate, he's really don't care. But
I think if their staff are going to be customer facing as well, like extra care has to be taken.
Yeah, totally.
And I think like Dan from Hero Softwash, who we interviewed a few weeks ago, he's going through this process at the moment, isn't he? So he's taking someone on. And he's very, like, as we said, he's very on the ball with stuff. And I know he's writing, like, a set of guidelines and, like, what they're going to be doing day to day and, like, the breakdown of each job, what's to be expected, like, from beginning to end, like, really in depth.
Yeah.
And I think that he only has to put that effort in once because then he can use that with every staff member he takes on.
That's the template, yeah.
But I think it's so important to have something, say it doesn't even be exactly that, but something along those lines that just gives the people, whoever you're taking on, what they need to expect, what needs to be expected of them, even. Because I think as well, like, it goes back to that story I told a few weeks ago where Lewis, who just called me actually, he sent someone out as a staff member. Now, he's a friend of his, but he was earning money on his job and the other guy was doing it. So the other guy used his equipment and done the job. But it was Lewis's job. And he brought the machine back all dirty. And he's told me about it on the phone and that, and he's moaning. And I said, well, did you tell him to clean it after he's done? Well, no, it's obvious, isn't it?
It is obvious.
But it's not obvious.
It is to me.
Yeah, but the reason you're the boss. That's the reason you're the boss, because it's obvious to you.
Oh, I see what you mean. I never thought of it like that.
You really have, like, not, it's like...
You wouldn't have cleaned it though, would you?
I wouldn't have cleaned it.
You wouldn't have?
No.
No, I know, because I know you as a person. You're
No,
lazy.
but
you're lazy, mate.
It ain't that at all. It's like, my equipment is equipment. It's used to make money.
Yeah.
I don't need it to look good.
Mate, that is a what? Please, if you disagree with that comment on it. I think that is the most wildest thing you've ever said. Do you just drive a dirty... Why'd you clean your van, mate?
I clean the outside of my van because it's customer facing.
What about the inside? Just fuck it, let it go rack and
Go
roll.
look at the inside, mate. It's a shithole, isn't it?
Mate, I find that wild. Do you know how important it is to keep your tools clean? Because you can inspect... So a lot of people slip up here, and I'm going to tell you why it's important to clean your tools, right? Because it's not just making them look nice. When you're cleaning them, you're holding them up and you're inspecting them, not psychologically, like self-consciously, unconsciously, or whatever you do. But you're actually looking at it close up. Same as cleaning a car. You're actually there cleaning it, and you go, "Oh, hang on a minute, I never had that scratch there before," or "That crack's getting worse," or "This." Do you see what I mean? And you can actually make a mental note of it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the idea of cleaning tools.
But when they're dirty, you can't see all the scratches, so it's fine. Out of sight, out of mind.
But like if you was cleaning your pressure washer and you notice there's a bolt missing, you go out and get that bolt.
Yeah,
If you never cleaned it, ultimately.
No, yeah,
do you understand?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's the practice. It's nothing about the aesthetic. It's that practice.
Yeah,
that's why you clean tools.
But then I could just inspect all my equipment once a week.
Which you don't do.
No, I don't do that.
Well, no, that's what I mean.
But I invest in really high quality equipment, so if a bolt does go missing, I'll call up the manufacturer and they'll replace it.
That's why they clean guns in the army. Yeah, it's to make it work, but also it's for you to get familiar with the gun, what it's meant to look like.
Yeah, mate, it does make sense. It does make sense. But then, like...
But anyway, going back to Lewis.
Yeah, so my point to him was, if you've not outlined what you expect from that staff member, you can't expect him to understand what you want from him. Like, just because it's common knowledge to you, or that's how you expect it to come back. Like, if he'd said, so, say you're paying him 200 quid to do his job, right? He said, right, take my pressure washer, take your van, my pressure washer, take all my equipment, but you go in your van, you do the job, it's 200 quid, and he's brought it back in the condition he's brought it back in, right? Yeah. Cool. But if he'd said to him, it's 200 quid, but can you make sure that the machine's, just give the machine a wipe over before you pop it back in? Yeah. He would have done that. He wouldn't have asked for more money.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because he didn't ask.
But it's the job he's asked him to do is go and do the job and bring the machine back. Yeah. But it's not necessarily more work. It's not like he's going to go, well, if you want me to clean the machine as well, it's an extra 25 quid.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's just because he hasn't asked.
He should have asked.
He's not put the expectations in place. And when you take on staff members, and without trying to sound like an arsehole here, you've almost got to treat them like idiots.
Yeah, treat them like they're all stupid, yeah.
And it's not because they're stupid, it's because if they've got half a brain about them, they'll know how much you're earning compared to what you're paying them. Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't understand business, and you used to think like this when you first started with me, you see me earn 800 quid on a job, and you go, fucking hell, you earn all this money. But when you work out like the running costs of the business and the way I've got it all set up, I'll probably see 100 quid of that. But they don't see that. They see you earning 800 quid and you're paying them 100.
Yeah, and they get the
And they go, well, we can fucking clean your own equipment.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
But you've got to outline it from the beginning and explain it to them, almost like they're children. And then they get it. But it's your job to like mould that relationship.
Yeah, you do have to, yeah.
And you've got to you can't just take someone on and expect them to make money for you. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. And the reason if you're going through staff members, that is the reason why you're going through them, because you're not investing anything into them. And like anyone that's done it will argue, Yeah, but they're like, I put all this time and money into them, and then they go and start their own business. Well, I think you should be proud of yourself if you've put enough effort and time into someone that they then feel confident enough to go start their own business. Fucking pat them on the back and send them on their way.
Do you think?
Yeah, because what happens when you get a nice big contract down the line, and you need a couple of blokes to help you out?
Yeah, you know they'll always be there, didn't you?
And you've trained him.
Yeah.
So you know he's going to do a good job because he's working under your training.
That's not a bad way of looking at it, to be honest with you. That's not a bad way of looking at it.
But if you're threatened by someone who's had 3 months of experience, you're in the wrong game, bro.
You are. That is. Do you know what? That's a fantastic analogy. I love that.
Right, and you,
it's totally
you
true.
was like,
though,
when you started with me, I'm going to, why don't you just start window cleaning? You're like, I don't want to step on your toes, bro. I'm like,
yeah.
not in a horrible way, but if I'm threatened by you,
then you're completely in the wrong game.
I shouldn't be running a business.
Yeah.
I should just come work for you because apparently I think you've got all the answers. Do you know what I mean?
No, that does make a lot of sense.
I'm like, I'd much rather show you how I do it.
Yeah.
You start up, and then like you're on your way,
Yeah.
and then like if a nice big job comes in, I can go, Dan, got a nice big job. I know that you're going to do it to the same level of quality as I am.
That's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, but it's taken me like 18 months to get you into that position.
Yeah, because I didn't.
Like I'm slowly moulding you. You don't realise. Like, I'm molesting you like mentally.
I'm grooming your brain.
When you go to therapy, you can go, he touched me here, he touched me here.
No, it's interesting because how many times have you seen that when people say, oh, what, yeah, train someone up and then he just fucks off and starts his own company?
Yeah,
I'll
like, just stay on my own.
Yeah, I'll just stay on my own, thanks. Or everyone's a waste of space and everyone's a piece of shit and all this. It's like, mate, your attitude stinks. And I tell you what, show me that geezer and I bet you he hates his missus. It's that mentality. Oh, fucking indoors. It's that, innit?
You got to look at it, right. If I said to you now, like, you're probably not quite there yet. I'm at this point, right, where I go, I'd rather earn half the money that I'm earning now and go on a 2-week holiday every year.
Yeah.
And I'd still be paid. But I can't do that at the moment because I'm on my own. And anyone would go, well, fucking, I wouldn't take half a pay cut. You're thinking too small. Because when I've got staff, I want to be earning 200 grand a year as a business.
Yeah.
So I'd happily pay 3 people 25k a year each, plus bonuses and a few vans, and earn 100k and be able to go on holiday.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Then earn 100k on my own, but not be able to go on holiday without losing 2 weeks' pay. Like, it's mental.
Is it, yeah, when you say it like that, it does make sense.
But that's what the trade-off is when you're taking staff on. And this is what people don't realise. They think, oh, I'll take a staff member on, I'll earn more money. But for a period of time, you lose less money. You earn less money. Because not only have you got a...
Well, it's initial setup, isn't it?
Well, not only have you got initially set them
you
up...
both ain't going to drive the same van, for argument's sake.
For a period of time, you might, but you've still got to then probably slow down your workload.
What, like you do the pedals, he does the stick?
No, you might work together in the same van.
Oh, no, yeah, of course. But
for a period of time, and you might have to work a little bit slower whilst you show them what to do.
Especially if he's me.
Talk them through it. But then when you start going out on their own, they might not be as quick as you, but then the same difference. But yeah, you're going to have initial setup, so like setup of the van, all that, extra insurance. Might need to do fleet insurance or whatever. They might be a little bit younger, so the insurance might cost a little bit more. Then you've got to buy like 2 lots of water, 2 lots of uniform, 2 lots of all the equipment.
Yeah.
You know, and whatever else.
Or in some people's Air Force Ones.
Yeah. Right, and then, like you say, after 3 months, they might not be any good.
And then you've got to bin them.
Yeah, but and what people do is they hold on to these staff members because they've invested 3 months into them. So instead of just going cutting their losses now and say, look, it's not for you. You're not fitting in where I wanted you to fit in. Let's call it a day before we fall out. They'll go, oh, well, I'll just hold on to him because I've invested 3 months into him already.
Yeah, they can't let it go.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
But during that 3 months, you've paid them, say you're paying them 2 grand a month, 500 quid a week. So you spent 6 grand. Well, that's potentially going to go down the drain. and they might not have any experience, so they might not be earning you more than that a month to begin with. Especially if they're out with you in the van, you're not necessarily going to do £2,000 more work.
No.
It might take you a year to get that £2,000 extra of work
out of them, yeah.
Well, just in value of work, like on top of what you were already earning. So for that initial time, before you gain the extra work to pay for what you're spending, you're going to lose that money out of whatever you were retaining in the business before you took them on. Words. There was a lot of them there, weren't there?
No, but it's a lot to consider. There is a lot to consider, and you're shining a light from almost the other side of it, because I never really thought of it like that. Especially, I'm going back now to the if you're feeling rumbled by someone who's got 3 months worth of experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's I think it's quite a big jump. It's quite a risk as well. And I know it's like minimal cost, like going out boots and this, that, and the other. It's still an investment. And then like I don't know. I'm being the devil's advocate. They'll rock up one day and forget it, or rock up, or make a massive rip in it, like for something silly.
Yeah.
Do you know
it might take you 6 months to get them into a position where they remember every day and they're thinking of it, and then they go, oh, I'll go get another job somewhere else, or someone's offered me another £100 a week.
But then this is going back to it as well. Like, by the time you're considering doing this, I'd like to think that a business should be sitting comfortably, probably between £6,000 and £8,000 a month. And you're taking a wage, whatever it be, and then there is that residual income in the account left every month. And advertising is paid for, everything else is paid for, and ultimately it's almost like a bonus.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
So it's interesting you say that. Or it's
the beta region paradox, isn't it? Or you can swing it the other way and say, if I don't take someone on now, in 8 months' time, when the demand's there, I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to service it.
There's just two ways of looking at it. You could take someone on in preparation.
Yeah, before you get that busy.
Or you're flapping.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to take someone on in advance. But it's interesting you say, like, when you say £6,000 to £8,000 a month, seems like plenty of money to pay someone. But I'll go VAT registered in September. I'll do about £10,000 a month. And to be completely transparent, I couldn't afford to take someone on at the moment.
Yeah, but there's a lot. I know what you mean.
But I'm building the infrastructure of
But like, if you're going to be transparent, there's also debts as well that you're servicing. So you're paying off.
my debt of the business, not including the van, because I think that's a business asset. The actual debts on loans is about £400 a month.
So what about debts on assets?
That's £400, not including the van. The van's another £460 or £470.
Right, so about £10,000 worth of money.
About £800, £900.
You pay £800
of loan repayment.
So you clear £9,200.
Yeah.
And then what's your liabilities?
Well, the cost of sales is probably about £2,000. But then, like, I've got the warehouse. I've got insurances.
This is what I'm trying to get at. What's the day-to-day runnings? How much is
Oh, it's cost me about £3,500 a month to run the business.
So you're £6,500 a month in the green.
Yeah.
After water's bought everything.
Yeah, but I only pay myself £750 a month.
Right. So after everything, you've still got £6,500.
About £5,000. Yeah.
£5,000. So how can you not see to take someone on even say you have the pick of the litter at £2,500 a month?
Because I want to build the infrastructure before
they come along.
I don't want to take someone on, right, and they're the bollocks, just for them to go, you ain't got your shit together. Do you know what I mean? And then like, you're going to lose a really good staff member because, like, if I didn't have this warehouse, for example,
why would he?
And I'm asking them to come to the house every day, and they're starting at 8, but like, I haven't loaded up. So then we've got to load up, and then like, by the time we started, it's 9, and it just frustrates them. I want all the processes in place.
Why are they sat in your van though? Because they're not a boss. Because they're not doing it on their own.
Yeah, I just don't think, and like, I want to pay myself more money before I take someone on as well. So I want to give myself a pay rise.
I think one man achieving £10,000 a month, I think you're maxed out.
I don't. I think I can do another £4,000 a month.
Yeah, okay, but now take your age away from it. So now there'll be some viewers here sitting there that are 50, right? Now put yourself in a 50-year-old's body, right? And your mobility's not as good as it is. Like, you can't turn around and say, I'm going to load myself up just because of your age. If you can't do this job now comfortably until you're 50, 60, then do you understand?
Yeah, but I don't want to do it.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you doing this now is only unique because of your age you can do this.
I don't think so. I think most days I finish at like 2, 3-ish.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
If I worked till 5, then yeah, I think you'd be right. I'd only be able to do that at that intensity because I'm not old.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm young, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Do you think
50.
you can get up to 14, roughly about another grand a week? You reckon you can get to?
Yeah, I've had weeks where I've done 4 grand.
Yeah,
and they've been hard work, but nothing crazy.
Nothing like killing yourself over.
No, but I mean, at the moment, I average 2.5 grand a week. So like when you compare like a 4 grand a week to that,
okay,
it's nearly double.
Okay, this is actually a good topic now. Right, so let's say you go. Oh, this is interesting now. So let's say, hang on a minute, I just fucked it up. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I fucking lost it. This is interesting now. Let's say oh, that's it. Right, this is interesting now. So let's say you take someone on, yeah? Mm-hmm. So how much of that £10,000, say, can you delegate to them and them alone?
Well, I would like to pay them 24 grand a year starting salary.
Yeah.
Which is 2 grand a month.
No. I don't mean how much you're going to pay them. How much of that £10,000 that gets generated?
Oh, do they need to make?
No, not need to make. How much can they make on their own?
They could make the full 10 grand.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, if I put the right amount of effort into them. Oh, why wouldn't they be able to? Why wouldn't they be able to do what I do physically? Because they haven't got to do any of the talking to customers, booking them in. Like, I would still do all that. I'd do all the sales and the admin and the money chasing. All they've got to do is physically do the job. Well, if I can physically do it and do all the admin and do all the social media and do all the YouTube, and all they've got to do is the physical work, absolutely they could do all 10 grand of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't see why not.
I don't see why not. As long as I put in the right amount of effort, and this is what it goes back to. If I just took someone on and I just plonked them into my business and went, there you go, they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to learn the little
shortcuts,
efficiencies that I've learned over time. Or like, I say to you sometimes, like, start at the back because you're already pulled out all the hose and it just saves you some time. Or like, I know how much hose, on a lot of jobs now, I know how much hose I've got to pull out to reach the back window.
That's actually a golden.
And that's something that saves so much time, but that can only be learned from time.
And that compounds per job as well. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So there's little things like that. And then like...
By month 3 though, they should have ironed that out. They should know all of that.
I don't know, it's only 3 cleans, isn't it? At a certain address. But it's... And then like roof cleaning, obviously they wouldn't be doing that on their own. That's a 2-person job. I do it on my own sometimes. But you wouldn't want to send a staff member because of your liabilities. Ideally, you wouldn't want them climbing on a roof either. Just, again, because of liabilities. So...
Interesting, mate. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it would be...
When's the big move to get someone there, do you reckon?
So, I'm going back registered September. I've employed my wife to do some admin stuff, and exactly the same situation with her. I want to spend some time with her, training her to do stuff the way I want it done. So I'm going to do that first. That'll free up my time. So she's going to do sort of, she's not going to do the quotes, obviously I'll do the quotes, but she's going to keep track of the quotes we've sent out so that I can then follow them up. So that could end in more work.
Generating more work, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like step 1. And then eventually I want her replying to emails and answering the phone.
Can she type in that?
Yeah, she's fine.
Can you spell in that?
Yeah, she's good at spelling. Well, spell check, I mean. No, that's joking, yeah.
Oh dear.
But she's going to do sort out all the invoicing.
Right, so come on in. We understand your wife's busy. So what about a member of staff? When's the big day? What month do you reckon?
So I reckon sort of mid next. So I said this last year, but then things changed, and this van build that we're doing, that's cost me 3 months worth of payments for a staff member. But once that's done, and I keep saying this, once that's done, everything's bought.
That's it, innit?
And I've almost got 2 of everything as well.
And do you know
so
what?
I've got 2 gutter vacs, 2 pressure washers.
Yeah. And having a van mounting system, in my eyes, is like having a spare person.
Yeah.
Because you're not unloading and loading.
But I'll have 2 window cleaning setups. So obviously you're going to be using the hose, but I've bought an extra tank. I've got 2 pumpkin controllers.
Yeah.
So I could split them if I needed to.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm ready to take someone on to come with me, but I've also got all the gear to send them out in their own. I just need another van.
Yeah.
And there'll be no additional cost. So I'll just get another van at 300 quid a month or whatever, 200 quid a month.
And it's away, isn't it? You've got.
And I've got all the equipment. There's no additional cost.
It's incredible.
So I've prepped. There is method behind my madness.
Yeah.
I've prepped everything in advance.
Ready to go,
so that once I can go, I can hit the ground running. But then when I take on that first staff member, I want them to be, so although I take them on at 25 or 24 grand a year, they'll then have their van after a trial period with me. So that'll be their van to keep. They'll be able to drive that. So I'll pay insurance and fuel. So that'll be their on top extra. Year 2, they'll get 3% pay rise. And then year 3, 5%. Onwards for the next 5 years or whatever, assuming they stick around. And then we'll employ someone to go with them, and then because they've been trained properly, they'll be able to repeat the process. But it should move a lot quicker after that, because I want each staff member to make at least 70 to 80 grand per staff member, which I think is doable.
Do you think?
I think so, yeah.
So 2 of them in the one van, or just like what, per van?
Per van.
Per van.
So yeah, when they're together, I think 110, 120
Yeah, you reckon?
grand a year, yeah. And then my job will just be making sure there's enough work.
Yeah.
So obviously if I don't bring in 250 grand of work a year, then it can't be done.
That's a giant amount of work, isn't it?
It is, but I think like window cleaning customers, so each window cleaning customer might be worth 300 quid a year. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
when you start breaking it down and reverse engineering it's not far away, is it?
And I think to get there quicker, if you're taking staff members on, the best thing for you to do would be to buy other people's rounds, which I've always been against. But if you've got spare cash and you are trying to actively grow, instead of putting that money into, which you'll grow either way, but for fast growth,
I always thought about
it'd
it.
be a case of going to someone else, and there'll be like obviously stipulations. So for me, the stipulation would be you'd have to have a digital diary. I'm not buying someone's fucking paper book with it scribbled down. I want every customer to have at least a mobile number, ideally a mobile number and an email address, and we'll pay 5x. So we'll pay slightly above, and then if they've got 10 grand's worth of work, we'll throw in 50 grand, and you've added 10 grand, you've added 120 grand a year to your business.
Yeah, and you're not even doing it. I've always liked the idea of buying rounds as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but then every customer you've bought there turns into
a pressure wash,
a gutter, a roof, carpets, and because you've got their mobile number and or email address, we can then start doing weekly blast outs, monthly blast outs, bi-monthly blast outs, whatever you want to do. And then that 120 might turn into 200 over the course of a year.
Could you imagine if you got to a point where you're reinvesting, let's say you're buying rounds, say, like people watching this, you can break it all the way down. You haven't got to apply this like if you're earning say 120 grand a year. You could apply it if you're earning 60. Say you invested just 3 grand into a round, or bought a small round for like 3 grand, say. You're still adding to your portfolio and adding to your business, isn't you?
Absolutely.
That's what I think that's where a lot of people as well stumble and fall down, is because they look at things and it's like, oh yeah, but like, let's say exactly what you just said, yeah? There'll be someone watching, they'll probably go, yeah, but like, how am I meant to copy that, mate? You're on 120 grand a year, yeah? And you think like, well, hang on, I started where you started, geez.
Yeah, my day one of me working, I had 1 customer.
That's what I mean.
Like
And it's
one costs £22.
But it's all
one
relevant.
customer.
It's all relevant. You're talking like this, but then like Jeff Bezos will probably buy clientele at probably 10x, but he just buys them on a different scale and
You'd be
higher
shocked
volume.
at how many companies will buy something just for the data.
Mate, I can tell you this is the God's honest truth. This year, there's a fella I know. He's got a company, and it's something to do with. I don't know him directly. I know him through someone. It's a story I heard. You know when you go to a shop and they, you know the old charity bins. You put a couple of pennies in, yeah. So it's a digitised version of that, and it's similar to this. It sits on a monitor. Have you seen them?
I don't know.
And it's a charity thing, and you tap it, and you donate 3 or 4 cents or 3 or 4
I've seen the
pence, right?
homeless people with it. But,
Right, so it's global. This thing's global. It's his software. I don't know how it works, but you get the name, address, and you get the data. Right? It's got 250 million monthly users. He's in talks with selling it. How much do you reckon it is?
Billions.
1 billion.
Yeah.
Make 1 billion. And it's data.
Yeah.
There's no value because they give pennies.
Yeah.
It's data.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But then you say there's no value, but 250 million monthly users, even at a penny.
Oh, it's a lot. No, yeah. But
250 grand a month.
Yeah. But it's but it's for a charity. The money ain't going to go to him.
No.
But ultimately, you're purchasing data.
Yeah.
Data's fucking colossal. That's where you can't slip up. Data, I think, is where you need to be at.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
That's why I've streamlined and I've trimmed the fat for me, my business. I said to my other half, I said I'm tired of doing these one-off jobs. Something goes wrong and I go around, oh, can you fix this? And I go, yeah, I'll fix it, and I fix it, and it's done for 25 years.
Yeah.
I had to get away from that because it was a very reactive business.
And they only call you when they need you.
And ultimately, fixing something's twice as hard as putting something together.
Yeah.
Because you've got to fix shit. And
someone before you might have fucked it in the first place.
Fucked it royally up, do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of going into it, and that's when I think to myself, no, trim the fat, get away from it. And that's where obviously I was talking to you and I thought, no, I'm going to go down the road of window cleaning.
Yeah, but ultimately, I know quite a few companies that have got like mega amounts of window cleaning customers.
Really?
Yeah, so like there is business to be had just off of window cleaning.
Yeah, totally.
Money to be had. But I think the thing we've got to remember is it's all very each their own. Like, and it's very individual. So like when I talk about stuff like this, it's I'm willing to sacrifice a nice life and buy my own house to build a business. But other people might not be willing to do that, and that's absolutely fine. Or they've already got a house and they don't want to take the risk not being able to pay their mortgage. And that's, again, absolutely fine. So I just don't want people to think we're going, oh, it's just easy, just do this.
No, I'm taking that risk, but I'm taking that risk.
Yeah, and I'm not talking to you. I'm saying,
no, I know what you're saying.
I
know what you're saying. But if people are watching this thinking, yeah, like I'm taking that risk where I might not be able to afford my mortgage.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have got other securities.
Oh, mate, yeah, like
it's not like you've got like a mortgage that you're struggling to pay and 2 kids at home. Like your risk levels could be much higher.
I hope they haven't escaped. I still have 2 kids at home.
Like your risk levels could be much higher, and it's harder for some people to take that jump.
I think it's better. I think it's better if you got more to lose. I think you react better.
I think you work harder. Yeah.
I was a lot hungrier.
I said this at the start, like when people used to reach out to me, and
yeah.
I know, like Jake, when I was on his live stream, and a lot of people in his group chat have got full-time jobs, and they're building this on the side, and I think that's how Jake started as well. And when I spoke to him about it, and I said, I think throwing yourself in full-time is the best thing you could possibly do, because it forces you to, like, you might not want to go knock on doors, but if you got fucking mortgage people at the end of the month knocking on your door, or your kids are asking you out, they're hungry, mate, watch how quickly you'll get out there knocking on doors, and it will work.
Yeah, totally. Because you have to go and do it. Yeah, you have to go and do that, yeah. I remember when I was younger and I was skint, I was a lot hungrier than what I was now. It's not a bad thing, it's just natural progression, isn't it?
But I think if you look at it this way as well, and again, reverse engineering, if you could take on 1 window cleaning customer a day, or you just go knock on some doors, and you need 1 yes, how long do you reckon that takes? An hour?
Yeah, probably.
So an hour a day call it 20 days a month because 4 weeks, 5 days a week, have the weekends off. So 20 new customers a month at 20 quid, £400 a month you add into your business. Do that every day for a year and you're at £5,000 a month just on window cleaning customers, not including gutter clearing, pressure washing,
Mate, everything.
roof cleaning, whatever else.
And also as well,
And that's not included. That's assuming that none of those people go.
that's the
Oh, my mum. My mum
Right,
wants
so
their
that's
son.
what I
Or,
was gonna say to you.
My mate needs a window cleaner.
How many jobs have you done where you've cleaned the windows in somewhere and someone shouted over the fence or come over and said...
So for me, that's not happened a lot. It's probably happened 3 or 4 times. But the amount of times people have messaged me and gone, "Oh, my mate needs a window cleaner."
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's happened.
Like, often?
More
often than not, yeah.
But actually being stopped on the road, maybe 3 or 4 times in 4 years.
Still good,
3
though.
years.
Still one a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not retiring off of being stopped.
Fucking mate, I'd sooner one
But
join me a year.
I'll be honest with you. I think
honest
I've
with
had 2 since I had my van wrapped.
Yeah?
So out of those, like 3 or 4 times it's happened. So it happened once when I first started going out. I went out in my father-in-law's old beat-up van that like I wasn't insured and it didn't have MOT, which I didn't know. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not fucking
illegal.
Yeah, I'm not illegal. I'm not a criminal. Don't dog me in. But I went out in that van, and the neighbour of the one customer come out and was like, "Oh, can we have ours done as well?"
I bet you was pumped, wouldn't you?
Mate, I thought this is fucking easy. I've had it made, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
2 customers!
mate. If I thought everyone's going to be like this. They're going
Yeah.
to come out and ask me to clean.
Mate, you were made!
Yeah, but
You went out and doubled your book that
yeah,
day.
yeah, it didn't happen again for a long time. So that happened then. Then I think probably happened once when I got my new van, just a little van, and then it happened once or twice with the transit custom, and then since I've had the transit wrapped,
Yeah.
I've had 2 or 3 jobs off it. Yeah.
Fair play to you, mate.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So the moral of the story is don't rely on word of mouth, or being stopped in the street.
No, I don't think that will happen. But
It happened to me once in Tesco's car park.
Did it?
Yeah.
So, this is another interesting point I'm going to make. Someone's going to watch this now, and they're going to go, and they might say, because you went out there. No. They might say, "Oh, how lucky are you? Someone approached you." Yeah. I don't believe in luck, right? You've put yourself in that position. You spent that money on that van wrap
absolutely.
in order to get that customer. Does that make sense?
1,700 quid that cost me, so it hasn't paid for itself
The
yet.
best analogy that I've ever heard of this, right? So when I was in Dubai, there was a geezer there, right, and he was smashing it, and he was smashing deal after deal, right, and it was almost like turning the attitude of the office, almost, because he was flying, yeah. And the manager at the time, Kieran, he's dead now, he turned around and said, "Listen, I know a lot of you are probably thinking he's lucky, yeah? But I'll tell you now," he said this, he didn't click the lift door to open, the door's open and the suitcase of money was there. He had to go out and earn it. I know it sounds really silly, but you're sitting there thinking, how you hating? Of course.
Yeah.
Like, you're just looking at he's done a deal and it's worth a lot of money, right? No, like, think of the
missing-
legwork.
yeah,
You're
you're missing
missing
all
the
the
whole
start.
journey.
Yeah.
He didn't find that money. That's lucky.
That's what, like, I think that's exactly what I don't want people to watch this podcast and think about me. Like, so no, I do 10 grand a month. It's
Yeah.
like, you ain't seen. Like, I get up at 5 o'clock every single day and I work on the computer until 8:30
PM.
when I leave.
PM.
And then I'll get home from work most days and I go back on the computer.
you
and
do,
I work
yeah.
Saturdays and I work on the computer Sundays.
And you do free work as well.
And I do a lot of free work.
So no, it's and
I've
also
probably,
as well,
like, over the grand scheme of things, I've probably lost more than I've made.
But also as well, think about another point you said. Your exes are what, 3.5 grand?
My what?
The exes.
What?
Your company exes in order to keep the company going.
Oh, 3 grand.
3 grand a month.
Yeah.
So if you want to if you're not earning 10 grand a month, however, you're not spending 3 grand a month.
No, it cost me. I actually got my accounts the other day. It's 36 grand in
Costs.
bills. Yeah.
Right.
for
So
the
there
year.
you go.
So it's exactly 3 grand.
So
a
if you
month.
want to make an omelette, you've got to break eggs.
Yeah.
I haven't gone down that road in terms of business. I haven't gone down that road at all because number one, I haven't got it in order to drop, and number two, I want to do it organically.
No, but then this is. I didn't have the money. I've put myself in a position to take it on, and now I've got to go and get the work. That's exactly what I've done.
Yeah, through credit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
I haven't got the unit on credit.
Yeah, Yeah, no. Yeah, what I'm getting at is I'm not doing that. I haven't gone down that road, so I'm going to grow a lot slower than what you are.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should leave it there, didn't you? This is quite an interesting topic.
I've enjoyed this one. It's been a bit. My bum's gone a couple of times. I'm not sure.
Why, have you had some milk?
No. I hope people don't think we're fucking arseholes talking about, like, it's not. I'm not trying to brag. It's more just to.
No, it's healthy talking about money.
To show people.
Do you know why? Like people are skint? It's because no one talks about it.
But I'm skint. Like, and this is my. I don't want to say, oh fucking I do 5 figures a month, and think I'm bragging. I know people earning £6,000 a month.
Yeah, maybe don't say 5 figures because that's a cunt thing to say.
£5,500 a month after their bills.
Yeah.
And they take home £5,500 a month.
Yeah.
And they're living wonderful lives.
Yeah.
I take home £750 a month.
Yeah.
Out of that 10 grand.
Yeah.
And
you said that, yeah.
I don't know where the rest goes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You've said that. It's fine. They understand. Yeah. They understand entirely.
Yeah. One day, though. One day.
Well, like you said, once the foundation's in.
Yeah.
The foundation's in, isn't it?
Yeah, shut up, man.
Man, shut their man.
That is.
Siri, suck your mum.
That means it's game over, and we've got to wrap it up. Do you want to see us out, big man?
And you got to click the button.
No, still going.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Uncleanables Podcast, guys. Thanks for listening. Drop your comments below, especially about the tool cleaning. I want to hear everyone's feedback. And remember, stay cleaning.
You bitch!